Using His Neighbor's Panties. Written by Connor Hayden. Narrated by Jessica Howard. Evelyn felt the grin spreading across her face as she looked up from washing dishes and gazed out of her kitchen window. The sight that greeted her eyes was becoming a familiar one, and the grin widened further still as she watched the teenage son of her next-door neighbor staring into her garden. Evelyn had lived in her home for more than 8 years and had witnessed Ryan grow from a cheeky preteen into a handsome young man of 18. While her interest in him was no more than being a friendly neighbor, his interest in her, as he matured, was seemingly becoming more sexual in nature. In recent times, he certainly couldn't keep his eyes from the panties and bras she hung on the washing line, and as she stared out her kitchen window, it appeared he was doing it again. Evelyn looked from the lingerie hanging on the line to the teenage boy and wondered exactly what he was thinking. Like most teenage boys, she guessed his hormones were jumping and assumed he spent time masturbating. She wondered if the thoughts in his mind when he was stroking his cock were of her or her panties, and found it a little amusing. A fantasy figure for a teenage boy, she laughed to herself. Evelyn was more than twice his age and thought he would be more attracted to teenage girls. But from the constant interest he showed in her panties and bra, it seemed that it was older women he was fantasizing about. Deciding to have a little fun, Evelyn went to her back door and quietly walked outside. Ryan was so intent on looking at the lingerie on the washing line that he didn't even notice her until he heard the voice. "Doing anything interesting today, Ryan?" Evelyn said with a smile. He gave a start and slowly turned to look at her, his face quickly glowing red. "Oh, I was, just thinking about my college coursework," he lied. "I decided to get some sun while I did it." "Oh, okay," said Evelyn, playing along. She glanced down to the teenage boy's crotch, but the long shirt he was wearing hid the front of the pants from view, and she couldn't see whether he was getting hard or not. She looked back to his face and saw how red he was. "Nice day for it," she teased. "But you need to be careful how much sun you get. Your face is looking a little red." Ryan touched his hand to his face. "Yeah, I guess so," he said. "I should really get back to my coursework. Bye." He turned to leave, and Evelyn grinned as he disappeared from view back into his house. She turned to go and check if her washing was dry, moving along the line and touching onto the clothes. She took time stroking her fingers on the panties and bra, wondering if Ryan was watching her out of a window, and deciding to give him a little tease if he was. The thought that a teenage boy was finding her a turn-on sent a little flash of excitement through her. She laughed it off, though.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?